Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to my channel. In this video, uh, in this video, the understanding your car's fuel injection system. The way the way that fuel is delivered to the engine's combustion chambers has changed Hagel in recent years. It's sent to arrive with something called a carburetor, the relatively simple but univocal and temperamental components. In the in the 1990, this was replaced by full injection, a system that's called static the talk. The emission standard introduced at the time while boosting the engine performance. It's uh, its order for injection was expensive and associated with premium vehicles, but now every car has a full injection. It's general relief, but it's still pay to know how the system works, where it is, and how to tell when it's playing up. We answer those questions and more. What is a full injection system? It's time to say the exact still what's the name in place, except that three different types of system include direct and indirect. Ultimately, they do the same thing. Dog inject a precise calibrate false spray into or close that engine's combustion chambers. Excite seal when it's needed. Petrol and diesel engines both use a full injection system. Why does an engine need one? With some kind of full delivery system, bits bit be it a carburetor or injection system, the injection will don't work. The beauty of a full injection system is that it's much more controllable than all passionate carburetors. It's partly why modern engines are so much efficient, clean, economical, and powerful than elsewhere. What does the engine system look like? You have to strip away lost the engine to say because converts create separate components. Uh, Display module contain the source high pressure uh, intake adjuster to make sure there's an exhaust seal the right current of the four engines. How does the injection system work? The full supply module sends pressure the injector one fire cylinders. The quantity of fuel that raises the injection is pressure control by H by an issue which consider at temperature, uh, throttle position, engine torque, and exhaust that's gathering from sensor. In around the engine the regulates supply at the edge intake stroke stroke intake are reversed via the fuel is injected into the intake manifold. The arrangement of pipes that can do incoming of the engines are both fuel and air mixed before being drawn into the combustion chambers. and and direct fuel injection system, such as diesel engines was increasingly petrol engines. The fuel is spread directly into the combustion chamber under extremely high pressure and uh, directly involve uh, incoming airstream. This is a much more efficient technique than indirect fuel injection that boosts power and economy and reduce emission. Our injection system uses the to be mechanical approach. The modern system are entirely electronic and more reliable, efficient as a result. Uh, why does as injector fail? An injector is a precision instrument that operates in extreme conditions uh, and which must deliver fuel under high pressure drop in tiny nozzle or nozzle into the intake manifold or directly into the combustion chamber. Consider this over the course of 20,000 miles. An injector will operate 18 million times. It's no surprise then that I can file this that side often is not the injector itself that fault but the quality of the fuel entering it that does the make. It might be contaminated either because it's low grade of because the fuel filter of dirty. Additives in the fuel can also form deposit on the injector. How do you diagnose a faulty injector? I will injector my customer spring unified idling pre-ignition when the fuel and air combustion before the spark plug fires, or detonation when excess fuel remaining after combustion ignites. This can make the engine so don't be ignored. I like injector there that has an interval valve that's taking my float and cause starting issues. If you can smell fall, it might be coming from the injector because a faulty injector will cause a uniform combustion temperature. Use a laser thermometer to check the temperature of the exhaust manifold. A healthy reading should be around 23 23 23 deg. Check what a filing injector that's delivering too much full may record 32 dex C. An increase in fuel consumption might be because the injector is no longer supplying and fine sprain by both instead large droplets of one atomic propel in the intake manifold of combustion chamber again. So spike and staking follow. Remove remove the injector because fuel will escape. So disconnect the battery and work in a well ventilated area. You will not be able to do much about them but unless you have a definitive explanation. Check injector electrical resistance using a multimeter. A full injector will mean the remaining current with the multimeter register as engine stethoscope listen for next the injector. If you cannot hear regular taking sound, is likely to you be failing. Uh, how do you repair an injector? You cannot really instead. And if the running is just do not seem to be too severe. Change the fuel filter over the fuel system to release debris. Also, an ejector cleaning for the fuel tanks. Thanks. Don't forget. Don't forget. Like, subscribe. Uh, thank you.